So now we're at the point where we're actually thinking about how you're going to bring this team on, and what is it that you're going to do when this team actually comes into your organization. And you, of course, are going to pay money for them, which means you want them to hit the ground running. Well, the first thing that we're going to recommend is that you're actually building some sort of a staffing plan, a hiring plan. If you're penning a deal with any sort of a venture capital firm, they're going to demand it. And even if you're doing things through grant funding, or you're doing this through friends and family, or you're doing it through your own bank account, having some sort of a staffing plan so that you understand who you're bringing on board, why you're bringing that person on board, what you can afford to pay them in both dollars as well as other compensation benefits is going to be really, really important. You need to plan for different talents at different parts of your organization. If you're a scrappy little startup and you're hiring your first 2, 3, 4 employees, appreciate that there's a special breed of person who wants to be part of something that early in the game. Not everyone is going to be interested. And yet, there is a segment of the population, the adrenaline junkies, the folks who kind of get off on building stuff, that this might appeal. So keep your eye out for folks who are going to be most interested in going through that building process, and who are less interested in the company as it matures. And now it's more of a 9-to-5 regulated, things are already built. That is the point in time where they might actually lose interest, and you might have to transition your staffing plan to accommodate the fact that your organization is reaching a new stage. And so staffing plans are something that evolve. It starts when you get to the point where you can't do it all yourself. And then it evolves as the organization goes through its different stages of growth. Appreciate that the people that you're going to hire 5 years from now, when you're trying to scale, are going to be very different than what you might have to hire, next week, because, you really need somebody who can code. So appreciate there's a differential there. You also have to make a calculation between employee and contractor. Now, appreciate that employees have a legal component. If you're going to hire someone, now you're going to be paying taxes for that individual. You're going to be connected to the legal system, labor laws, different types of unemployment requirements. And if you're running a remote team, or you're running any sort of dispersed team, then appreciate you can certainly do that, but you got a little bit of a different calculation, because it's not just the laws in your state, it's not just laws at the federal level, but it's also laws that are associated with the states in which your new employees reside. If you're going to go the contracting route, appreciate that contractors have a distinct legal designation. And so if you're going to be working with contractors and they are your primary workforce, you're still going to have to manage them. You're still going to have to set them up with job responsibilities. You're still going to have clarity on what it is that you're trying to achieve with them in terms of outcomes. And so taking time to outline what it is that you're asking of people, what your expectations are, how are you going to hold them accountable, what are, in a contracting world, the requirements that you've built into the contract. How does someone succeed with you, whether they're an employee or they're a contractor, and how does someone fail? And appreciate you should not go through this process if you're not also willing to fire someone, because if they're costing your money and they're not getting the job done, then that's a fundamental problem. And this is really kind of speaking to what we talked about in the previous section, which has to do with management responsibilities, leadership responsibilities that are far beyond just talking about the success of your company and being the public face, but it also means being the leader inside with your group to make sure that that group stays on task, gets the job done, and also delivers what they're supposed to deliver.